Hi everybody, welcome to Squinchwerms. This is a game about wonderful wacky worms that squinch about and reproduce and mutate and get into a whole lot of trouble. Okay, so where did I start with Squinchwerms? Good question. Where did it all begin? Well, my wonderful partner said, wouldn't it be great if there was a game about hamsters? And I thought that was excellent. But there's a small problem, which is that we started pitching the game to people. It turns out people are evil. And when you make a game about funny hamsters, where they can, climb in tubes and you squeeze them and throw them, and it was amazing, to me at least. It turns out that people interpret that as real advice on how to take care of hamsters. So, got to come up with a more fictional sort of creature. An inchworm. Yeah, on second thought, that is real. Small modification. Squinchwerm. Now here we are. Alright, so I start taking cracks. I'm making this worm, right? Start taking cracks at it. But before I get anything on the screen, I decide, you know what this game needs in order to smooth the development process, in order to help me out, in order to help myself out. Game object component system. Here's the code. Okay, got that? Here's what it did. So not worth it. Fast forward a little bit. I've sort of started to figure out how to get rid of stuff. I got rid of components. Okay, so the component part went away because that was dumb. I don't know. For some reason, I thought it'd be a great idea to put all the physics stuff in one little box inside of every game object, and then didn't realize that like the draw component, of course, needs to draw the stuff from the physics. So why did I separate them? So why didn't I just make the game? Good question. Well, they start telling me, oop is bad. That's what they say. Oop is bad. What? So what do? I start coding. I make this big database. Now this reminds you, just keep in mind, this is the night before my computer science final. It's 3 a.m. This is actually last night. Anyway, so I made the most complicated database known to man. It was really bad. So then this morning, what I figured out was, that sucks. And actually, all you need in a game is two things. Number one, update function. Draw function. Because that's what you do. That's what a game is. You start out with the level, right, which is the saved data on your disk. And then you just pipe that into an update. So you change something about it. Maybe you get, keyboard information, whatever. And then you draw it to the screen. And repeat. That's a game, baby. That's a game. There is no need for components. There is no need for anything. I mean, UI listeners, maybe, like at a very late stage, I will need to do that. But that's all you need. That's all you need, baby. That's all you need. All right. So where we're currently at now. I've been working on great advancements in the field of squinching. Initially, I had this problem, which is that when you first have a worm, it sort of looks like this. Allow me to make that noise again. And you need it to, you know what I'm saying? So you got to take it from to, and once you've done that, you got a little, you know what I'm saying? How do you get a worm to squeak? Well, you could put bones in it. You could put little bones in it, like with hinge joints, right? Like, and I started thinking about that for a minute, right? Like, look at this. That was what I was thinking. Not good. Not good at all. Here's the problem. You can bend at some points, but what if the worm wants to bend in a slightly different way? Slightly different. It can't, right? Because it's got all these stiff bits in it. Also, how it would. So, what do I figure out? Well, a worm is sort of like a muscle, right? It's just like a little, it's just a little. So, we got to lean into the soft body thing, okay? So what I start doing is I get in these point masses, right? Boom, 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 connecting them all with springs. And then the springs can, that's a muscle, baby. Because a worm don't got bones. There's no bones in there. There's no bones in there. So you just need mass, weight, and a way to exert force. And that's the springs. It's all it does. It's just a little simulated soft body with the ability to tense up parts of itself. That's a worm. That's all it is. And so then I had this problem. I was thinking, how do you make it squinch? How do you get the squinch to happen? So let's take a look at that. Here's my first diagram. This was pretty close. I don't know why I thought that you needed to get the insides of the worm to squeeze up in order to get that to work. So what I did was that I asked my friend, who is just sort of the type of guy, to play polybridge. I said, what parts of the worm have to squinch? So I showed him the diagram, of course, that thing. And he started to understand. And then I explained that you could put point masses and springs inside of it, and you get sort of this suspension bridge situation. And, he was like, Ian, you're an idiot. Just squeeze up the bottom part. Just get that little bottom part to go. And that's what we did. All right, so that's pretty much all the progress I've made on squinchworms. Going forward, we're going to work on terrain. Okay, we got to get like sort of an ant farm sort of situation going on with like 2D terrain that the worms can crawl up and down in. We got to implement some food for them to seek out, some activities for them to do, maybe drink water. I would like them to, go up to puddles of water. It's like if we got the puddle of water right here, right? So goes up to it and it goes, you know what I'm saying? I think the worms should do that. I think it would be great. Oh, and also we got to implement hats. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. That's pretty much everything I've done in terms of the worms. I'll be back soon because I'm pretty much working tirelessly on this project day and night instead of doing anything productive. Goodbye.